Welcome back again, Gameyaad family. Thank you so much for joining us for another video. We are extremely delighted that you have joined us for this another video on this channel. Sincerely hope that you are doing well wherever in the world you are watching this video from. Hope you will have a great day. Now I will be focusing a little bit in this video on the new, in fact it is the inaugural breakout T20 league put on by West Indies and CPL. Now I suspect that the main purpose of this league is basically to to develop players for our CPL tournament, right? And it's also for the also to I guess to create a pool of players for the West Indies T20 setup as well. But I suspect it is more geared towards players getting the exposure, so that our Caribbean Premier League tournament will have players continuously being developed for that tournament. I may be wrong, but that is what I suspect. That that this is the main purpose of putting on this league by Cricket West Indies and CPL. Now, in the first match, the first match was played between the Windward Islands Infernos and the Guyana Rainforest Rangers. And the Rainforest Rangers, they would have won the toss and elected to bowl. And the truth of the matter is, Guyana having started that power play and would have made inroads into the Infernos batting order. At one point the Infernos, they stumbled at 38 for 4, right, inside 7 overs. At this point I believe that Guyana may have thought that they would have made the right decision to bowl first. Now, at this point, Alick Athanaze, he was scoring really well. But one of the key things about this innings played by Athanaze, and the truth of the matter is, I expected Athanaze and even all the other senior West Indies batters or players to dominate this tournament. That's an expectation for me. So the fact that Alick Athanaze would have stood up and played a match winning unbeaten 91 from 57, as I said, it was an expectation for me to see the because there are levels to cricket, right? And if you are at the senior level, then you should stamp your class in this breakout, right? So it was a innings of class, to be honest, and he showed great game awareness, and that is one of the key performance indicators when you are looking at developing players. How do you adapt to the situation? And I think Alick Athanaze adapted well. He knows that he had to bat very deep in order for his team to, if his team is to get a defendable or competitive total on the board. And he showed great game awareness, right? He hit the hard boundaries, especially in the middle overs. He consolidated well, and at the end of the innings, in the last 5 overs, he accelerated, because he would have, by the time he would have been well set at the wicket, and so he would have, taken on the bowler. In fact, I remember they would have got 29 runs from that last over from, I believe it was Ali Mohammed. So getting set and bat, and that underscores the importance. When you get in a T20 game, you need to stay there until the end. And I think that it was one of the things that Alick Athanaze did well in that match. He knows, as I said, he showed great game awareness. He understood what is needed in the middle from him as the captain, and so he executed his game plan really well, and that would have allowed the Infernos to score a competitive total of 166 for 6 from their allotted 20 overs. Right, as I said, Alick Athanaze would have made top score with 91 from 57 deliveries, and he would have gotten good support from Dylan Douglas. He would have made 26 from 32 deliveries, and they shared in a 83-run partnership there, and it was a really good partnership, given the context of the game, given that Infernos, they would have lost 4 early wickets, and they needed a partnership to really bring back some stability in the innings, and Dylan Douglas and Alick Athanaze did that. Johan Jeremiah also chipped in with 14 from 12 deliveries. The pick of the Rangers bowlers include Niall Smith. He would have taken 3 for 28 from 4 overs. Jedediah Blades, 2 for 34 from his 4. And Ronaldo Ali Mohammed, he was very expensive with 1 for 43 from 3 overs. The Guyana Rainforest Rangers, in their reply, they would have got off to a fairly good start, and but I mean, as I would have said earlier, when you get in, right, you need to have that mindset that you have to stay at the wicket until the end, or bring the game very deep, right? Kevlan Anderson and Adrian Sukwa, they would have involved in a 107-run partnership from 75 deliveries. At this point, they were cruising. They were in total control of the game, and it just underscores the fact that when you get in as a batter in this T20 tournament, you need to have the mindset that you need to stay there until the end, or you need to bring the game back very deep into the innings, right? And we see here, as I said before, they would have made a 107-run partnership, and at this point Guyana would have been in total control, right? They were at 120 for 1 at one point, needing 167 to win, right? And they would have collapsed. They would have lost their last 8 wickets for 21 runs. Can you believe that? The main destroyer would have been Darel Cyrus, 4 for 37 from his 4 overs. And it's very funny, because Darel Cyrus in his first spell, he was very expensive in his first spell, and that again, it just shows you game awareness from Alick Athanaze, right? Because he switched Darel Cyrus, where the batters have to play him now on the bigger side of the ground, and he became very, very, very important. In his first spell, he would have gone 2 overs and he would have conceded 27 runs, but he came back in that second spell and he took 4 wickets for 10 runs from 2 overs. That was magnificent, and that would have set up the game for the Infernos, right? That again show you game awareness from the captain Alick Athanaze, right? So Kevlan Anderson would have made 58 from 43 deliveries. Adrian Sukwa would have made 57 from 43 deliveries, and Riyad Latif would have made 4 not out from 9 deliveries. The pick of the Infernos bowlers include Darel Cyrus, 4 for 37 from 4, Ryan John, 2 for 16 from 4, and Dylan Douglas, 1 for 6 from his 1 overs. As I said, the Infernos, they would have won the game by 25 runs. 2 things I really want to emphasize, how important it is not to lose, clusters of wickets in any format of cricket match. That when you lose so many wickets, right, it breaks, the team momentum, and that would have happened in this game for the Rainforest Rangers. They lost wickets in clusters, and that would have, break the back of their innings, right? So, I mean, it's a learning, as I said, it's a developmental, game. And so they need to learn from this, especially Kevlan Anderson and Sukwa. One of them should have stayed at the wicket and tried to get play, but through the innings or take the game very deep, right? So that was one of the the mistake that they would have made in that match. So they need to learn from that match. All right. So one of the metrics I want to look on, because as I said, it is a developmental cricket game. So we want to look on some key metrics that we want to see improvements on, right? Or see whether or not the teams would have done well in those aspects. As I said, the Infernos, especially the captain Alick Athanaze, he would have shown really good game awareness, and that is one of the qualitative metric of the game. As a player, you need to understand the game, right? And based on the context of the game, you need to apply yourself in the context of the game. And Alick Athanaze showed that in that first match. As it relates to runs scored because there are three phases of the game. You have the power play, which is over 1 to 6. You have the middle overs, which is 7 to 15, and you have the last over, the death overs, which is 16 to 20. Now, the Windward Islands Inferno, in their power play, they would have scored 36, and the Guyana Rainforest Rangers, they would have scored 42. So Guyana would have outplayed the Infernos in the power play in terms of runs scored, right? And also in the middle overs, the Infernos would have scored 59 runs. The Guyana Rainforest Rangers would have scored 78 runs. In the last over, the Infernos scored 71 runs, and this is where they won the game. And Guyana scored only 21 runs, right? Massive difference here in terms of run score. And not only that, but let us look on how the wickets fall for both teams, right? In terms of the power play, Infernos lost 3 wickets. The Rainforest Rangers lost only 1. In the middle overs, the Infernos lost 1 wicket. The Rainforest Rangers lost only 1. But this is where Guyana lost the game. They lost, Infernos lost 2 wickets in the death overs, or the last overs, while Guyana lost a massive 7 wickets, right? That's something that they need to learn from, right, in this aspect of the game. As it relates to dot ball percentage, the Infernos would have had 57 dot balls in their innings. That's like about 48% dot deliveries. I think they can improve on that. You want to have a dot ball percentage of between 20 to 30, right, which would be about 36 thereabout dot balls, right? So the Infernos need to improve on their dot ball percentage. In terms of Guyana, they would have had a dot ball percentage of 33. They had 46 dot balls in their entire innings, which is not bad. 33% is not bad, So I think their main downfall in this game would have, lost those wickets in cluster. They had the game, when Kevlan Anderson and Adrian Sokwa were batting, right? But after that, partnership would have been broken. That's where they would have lost the game, right? So, I mean, both teams need to look on those key metrics going into their next game. So, as I said before, the Infernos, they would have been the winner of this game by 25 runs. The inaugural tournament. That's the first match of the West Indies Breakout League, T20 League, and it was an historic win for the Infernos, and also a historic 50 for Alick Athanaze as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for the other roundups to come.
Belo.